Hi there, my name is Kronenberg and welcome to my channel. This is a film review of 666 The Child. It's a horror, came out in 2006. It's a 15, Amazon's got it down to 16 plus. It's an hour and 20 minutes, but 10 minutes is the end credits, so just call it an hour and 10 minutes. Amazon is 3.5 out of 5, IMDb is 2.9 out of 10. They're both the same. So, after a plane crash where a boy is the only survivor, a childless couple adopts him and soon discovers he is something very powerful, something very dark. This small boy is the beast, and with him he carries the beginning of the end. So the director is Jack Perez, who directed Some Guy Who Kills People. Producer, well, there's 6 of them, but producer on we have David Michael Latt, who produced The Jolly Monkey, and Sherry Strain, who produced Bound by Law. I also forgot to mention it was an asylum film, in case you're curious. If you've seen enough asylum films, you'll know these characters, like the directors and producers like Sherry and David Michael Latt. Music was by Mel Lewis, who did the music for Creed 2, the boxing film. The cast, we have Sarah Lieving, Lieving, who is Erica Lawson, who was in Super Shark. Adam Vincent, who is Scott Lawson, who was in Chill. Nora J. Novak, who was Lucy Furr, who was in Minty the Assassin. Boo Boo Stewart, who was Donald, who was in White Frog. And Rodney Bowman, who was Tony, who was in Richard III. It's filmed in Simi Valley, Stewart's Film and Television, and Valley Village in California, USA. And it's also known as The Devil Reborn. And it says the film was released on June the 6th, 2006 to capitalise on The Omen 2006, which was released in the US on the same day. It's a typical kind of thing for asylum films. They tend to release films that are more or less identical in the titles on the same day, like War of the Worlds, I believe. Now, I paid for it because I thought, why not? There is a free one, but on Amazon, YouTube, I'll explain that a bit later on, because there's a reason why I'll explain about it. Now, it says it's introducing Boo Boo Stewart, so this must be his first film. Let me just scroll down to look at his name here. La-di-da-di-da. I'll scroll down. He's done a lot of stuff. I must admit, I'm just scrolling through. It's not his first film. His first film was Big Time, a TV series, and he also was Skeleton Man, so it wasn't introducing. It was 2006. He'd done a few films, but I suppose this one is like his first real character. And he's quite a popular guy at the moment now. Anyway, there you go. So, interesting credits and title. There's no T, except this upside down kind of cross. So there's no T. So it's 666 he child, if you see what I mean. It's like, that doesn't look like a T. Good old news channel with our newscaster. Right, so the woman who's doing the newscasting, as in, the presenter of the TV show or whatever news, that's our leading lady. And what's her name in the film? Erica. So she's talking about this plane crash, and the background is a drawing of a plane, right, saying tragedy in the skies. So the reporters found this kid stumbling, rescued him like you do, and in this studio, because apparently everybody else died on this plane. So she says, this boy's been found, oh my god, this is amazing. It says, remember now everybody, thoughts and... I hate that phrase, by the way. I hate it whenever any politician hears about a killing, murder, bombing, whatever the hell it is. Thoughts and prayers. What does that mean? What does it do? It doesn't do a damn thing. I could say that. Thoughts and prayers. There you go, thoughts and prayers. The thoughts and prayers with everybody in whatever country it was that had this. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. Anyway, so she goes, thoughts and prayers, and I'm like, okay, for who? She went, for the boy and the family, and I'm like, what about the families of all the people that died? It's just like, don't worry about those. They're all dead. Now, I know Asylum's on this budget, because that's how they tend to make these films, but at least get a good mirror. So we're in the room where Erica is, And she wafts past this room, and I'm thinking, oh, is it because it's a bit misty? It's not. But it's literally like looking at a foil sheet that's looking a bit dull, where you can't see a damn thing. No, about 10 minutes in, we got the first 2 deaths. It was a pretty interesting way to kill 2 people with a steam pipe. And it's not the way you think, it's going to go through his stomach like I did on, is it 5/13 or something like that? I can't remember. Anyway, those kind of things. It's not. Now, the adoption process is long. Not here. So it says at the thing, doesn't it? It's, that they adopt him. They adopt him the next day. It's like, is that even a thing? Apparently so. So I didn't put his in down, he wasn't there for very long. So Grandad Jake is bonding with the lad, right? He's throwing this ball for him to catch in a mitt, the baseball. So he throws it really high in the air, as opposed to, like, directly at him. And then we hear this crunch, it hits his nose, but it's not his nose, it ends up his teeth. Because we ended up in dentist. And then there's some posters behind him, and one says, "Respect is not a gift, you have to earn it." I thought, that's very true. Saw the death of the nun, in a way. Well, I didn't see it. A car hit her. There was no body as such, but this red paint was flung at a wall. I'm assuming that was blood. Poor Donald, right? He's chilling with Dad, and I think his mate, not Donald, he doesn't have any mates. In fact, he hasn't seemed to have left the house ever. And he's watching this ball game. They've got snacks, beer. He's not drinking, obviously. And then Lucy rocks up, his new nanny, takes him to his room, and it looks like she's a follower or something. And it's just like, I think he was quite happy playing or watching that film. It's interesting though, there's a point where Scott goes to see his priest that knows the truth, you know what I mean? Oh, I know the truth about this boy, he's evil, la la la. And then he quotes the number of the beast wording. To Mel, but it's like listening to a poor version of Iron Maiden's song. One where I think it's Vincent Price doing the narration on that one at the beginning. But yeah, there you go. Now, death by power tools is interesting, especially the lawnmower. That was pretty intense, especially the sound effects, the crunching, if you know what I mean. Now, this is the bit what I'm talking about. So, audio's a bit quiet at times, except when there's certain screeching sound, like that noise. And now, if you find the YouTube version, there's a lot of comments that bang on about it, saying, it's like really poor audio, you need to do better for your recording, can you not change this, la? No. It's not the person who uploaded it. It's the original. The original is as crap as this. My volume was on 100% on my headphones. And that's very rare when I'm watching a film. Because you tend to want it a bit lower so you don't sort of get deafened when something happens. And then, because there was like saying, when adverts kick in, it's very loud. Which I can understand if you're watching this without headphones on. But when I was with headphones on, there was a point where my ears nearly got deafened because they're all just talking like this. And you're like, can't hear a word they're saying. And then somebody fired a gun. It was just like, thanks for that. Now I can't hear anything. Well, it was okay. The deaths were interesting, but the story felt a bit flat. I mean, apart from him being what he was, where he was found, that was it. Like, what else was there? There wasn't any, I don't even know what his follower was there for. I mean, when she said, I want to see your photos or your drawings or something, I was expecting some really graphic drawings, really, intense, like, demonology drawings, and there were just some scrabby scrawlings with saying, like, death to you, and I was like, well, most kids would draw that. They've had a really shitty time, They've just been found off a plane, the family's just died, they've been abducted, maybe that's what they would write. And then the audio, the sodding audio. So, I mean, what's it got? 2.9? Does it say 2.9? Yeah, I'm giving it a 3, and that's being really generous. I just didn't like it. It just there was nothing there. And I've seen some asylum films. I've seen a lot of asylum films, to say the least, but this one just didn't work for me. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed watching and listening to this film review of 666 The Child. Please subscribe to my channel. I've got plenty of other asylum films. Got a whole playlist going, so if you want to watch any of those, you can do. Give me the old thumbs up if you like this video. Leave a comment below. Have you seen this? Did you think it's better than Omen? I think I know the answer to that one. I mean, Omen 3 is still quite, but still. Please subscribe to my channel and all that business. Okay, well, thank you and goodbye.